quite ambitious and bright in what he wanted to achieve, and I think marrying that woman actually helped him a lot, becoming the prophet, as we'll see. The reason I said I think it gave him the time to concentrate on other things rather than commerce. You know, a lot of people I know, and particularly some in my family, they want to be writers, but they don't have the financing to go out and, you know, stop what else they're doing and sit down and write the different things they need to write in order to make an impression in the, you know, literary or film world. And it's great to have someone who's bankrolling you so that you can retire into a situation where you can actually do these things. Other people aren't in that fortunate situation. So that's what I mean by making a really advantageous marriage for himself there in terms of his later achievements. Now, you may say he'd have been successful anyway. He may have been. I'm not sure it would have been so clear-cut. The marriage was very important. So the marriage is connected to the caravan trade. She was very successful in the caravan trade. And she saw him, obviously, as a talented manager of some kind prior to that romance, or whatever you would want to call it. You'd have to go to there are biographies of the Prophet written by Muslims in the century after his death. You can read what how they present them. But let's go back here now to the caravans going north and south. There was really a truce period too. It was unofficial, but more or less an understanding of at least the Arabian tribes, if not the tribes up by Petra, that internecine warfare should stop during the caravan trade season. In other words, that would lessen the commercial impact of raiding, that would prevent the caravans from moving. That was really the lifeblood of the economy, of whatever economy existed. The same as I think there's probably an agreement in Saudi Arabia today, let's not blow up the oil pipelines, because whatever you want to say, we're all benefiting from this. So we have some disagreements, let's keep it away from the oil lines. I think the tribes were intelligent enough to realize that that was the case. So basically there were two pilgrimages, a small one and a big one, and during the pilgrimage seasons the raiding was supposed to be on hold. The intertribal fighting, warfare, and raiding was supposed to be in advance. And this in Mecca was called the small and the large pilgrimage. I think I don't know, I think the small pilgrimage is in the 7th month, the large pilgrimage is in the 11th month. I may be wrong on that, 12th month. Anyone want to correct me there? In any case, there still are in Islam 2 pilgrimages, but the big one is the one we all hear about. I think that's in the 12th month, 11th or 12th month. In any event, oh, by the way, you probably know the Muslim calendar is not tacked to the seasonal year. That's why the pilgrimage floats across the seasons. Sometimes it'll be in February, sometimes it'll be in March, sometimes it'll be in September, sometimes it'll be in December. Our months, that is. Why is that? How come the Muslim calendar works like that and these things flow through the season?
Because they go by the moon.
That's right. The months are reckoned by the moon, and a lunar calendar does not equal a solar calendar. So what are you talking about? Well, the months are based on the phases of the moon. That's why they're called months, moon. Even the word month incorporates the Western word for moon. Even though our months don't exactly coincide with the moon anymore, because we've jiggered them. Instead of 28 days, which is basically the lunar cycle, and by the way, some people think it's the normal female cycle too, which is why females were identified with the moon to some extent. Because the cycle in a woman was considered normally to be 28 days, although I don't think all women are regularly at that number, but they fluctuate around there someplace apparently. I'm not an expert on these things, only you women would know this, and I'll stand aside on that issue. Oh, sorry, no, I really don't, I'm not into those intimate personal matters. But you guys know what I'm talking about, and you know whereof it consists and what's involved, so I'll leave it to you to decide. In any event, That's a moon counter, which is based on the phases of the moon. And the moon counter really is based on the fact that let me see if I can get this right, that the moon goes around the Earth. I think as well, the moon also